Hey everyone, it's Steph. Today's video is a state of the market report. Yes, it is that time of year again. This is the mid 2021. So this is analysis of everything for the first half of the year and compared to previous years. Kind of gives you an idea of everything that's happening with the real estate market in the southern Arizona area. So, because of the pandemic, we saw a lot of the same things that we did last year. So homes were selling in real time, meaning they sold with multiple offers, oftentimes as soon as they hit the market. And we saw that a lot of buyers had a lot of shifts in their needs, right? The pandemic caused a lot of people to need to work from home, which made them sort of reassess the space and size and rooms that they needed. We also saw that a lot of people's work from home situations became permanent. So people realized that they weren't tied to a certain geographic location. And a lot of people, we saw an influx of people coming to Arizona for its affordability, for its weather, which of course then causes prices to go up and it to be slightly less affordable for a majority of people. So because of all that, we saw a lot of increases this year, but no indications of any kind of bubble or burst. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Seems mostly to be, there are some signs of market normalization, meaning the amount of buyers is starting to level off a little bit, and we're seeing some more listings come onto the market. So Tucson area closed sales, that's the total number of homes sales that closed from the first half of the year, is up 16.5% for compared to the previous year. But the breakdown of that is pretty surprising. So in Tucson, our luxury market is considered 800,000 and up. That went up a whopping 189.6% in sales we saw. A lot of that's due to things like people deciding on early retirement, people buying a second house. Our property taxes are lower than some states, and our prices are a lot lower still. Even though our median price keeps going up, our prices are still a lot lower than a lot of our neighbor states. And then for the regular residential, which is under 800K, so our not luxury market, we saw closed sales up a 13.5%. So still a big increase, because last year was a big increase too. So we're still getting lots of buyers, doing more transactions than ever, but the luxury market really took off for this half of the year. So homes for sale are still at a historic low, showing they're down 43.1% since June of last year. June of last year they were down. There were not a lot of homes on the market. But really what that means is listings are selling as fast as they hit the market, because the total number of listings, meaning houses that come up for sale and then get sold, is still about the same as it was last year. So it's just that on any given day when you're looking on our MLS, looking at homes for sale, it's a very low number because they're still selling really, really fast. So we've been dealing with that for a while. We're getting good at dealing with low inventory here. So a surprising number that I really wasn't expecting to it be this high is our median sales price. So in June of 2020, it was at $249,099. In 2019, it was right at about $225 was our median home price, and in 2018, right about $200K. In June of 2021, our median sales price was $327,150. So that's an increase of 31%. That's tough. That's tough. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. And, in 2019, I did more sales under 200K. In 2020, some first-time home buyers up to 250. Because the unfortunate reality of Tucson is that we are not a super high-income town. So that's one of the reasons we were really affordable, right? So people from other states could come here and buy a great house for what they considered, you know, a steal of a price. But for our residents, it's a tough new median sales price. There's no other way around that. That said, if you are a first-time home buyer, or you are looking to maybe be a first-time home buyer, please reach out. Remember, the median sales price doesn't mean you won't be able to find anything for lower. I am able to, or have been lucky enough so far, to find all of my buyers great homes within their budget. So if that number scares you, I get it, but don't let that deter you, because we can find you something great that you can afford. So mortgage rates, those are staying about the same. They increased a little bit, above 3%. Now they're back down right around 3%. So mortgage rates still at a historic low. Monthly payment rises. So last year when I did this video, I don't know if you can see this. So here's where I was when I was doing this video. Even though home prices had gone up a lot, average monthly payment stayed about the same, because interest rates were so low that you had a lot more purchasing power. So you could buy a more expensive house to pay about the same. And that's not the case now. So monthly payments have gone up. So now they're June of 2020, average monthly payment was about $1,018. And in June of 2021, it's about $1,307. So that's up 28.4% from the past year. Let's see, what else do we have? Days on the market. We know homes are selling fast. It's down to average of 12 days on market. It's crazy. If you are a buyer, you know you are almost never given 12 days. That is an average. You know, in the really competitive price range, that home is going to get multiple offers that day. And the only reason for that average is some sellers are selling their house, you know, they put it live on a Thursday, and then they will review all offers that next Tuesday, just so that they can get everyone in a chance to see it, when really it could have sold that Thursday, you know, if they likely got an offer in that night. So home prices, sold price to original list price. So in June, on average, homes sold for 101% of the original list price. So this is just a reflection of our current market. So we know houses are getting multiple offers and likely to sell for over asking. So that's about it for looking at the facts of what's going on and comparing this year to last year. And then there are some 2021 projections. So at the beginning of this year, in January, I did this video, and the home prices were still expected to rise. So in 2020, home prices rose about, I think it was 19.6%, just under 20% is what home values went up. So at the beginning of this year, they were forecasting it to still go up, but at about, I want to say for Tucson, it was forecasted right at 4.5% increase in price. And that has changed because there's still a lot of buyer demand. So now homes are expected, the average of the 5 major companies who do the home forecasting is about 8.9% increase in home value. So that's good news. You know, it really is, especially if you were not forced, but if you had to buy during this pandemic and you kind of thought, oh my gosh, I'm buying, and you know, we're buying at the very top. It's not. Prices are still going up. So you're going to get some of your, you know, you're going to get some equity in your house. So that's a good news. We see no indications that price will go down. We are seeing a slowing of the pace. So we're hoping that we return to a sort of slower, smoother pace, to a little bit of a healthier level than these massive increase in prices. And mortgage rates are likely to increase a little bit, but stay the same. You know, maybe go up to 3.5%, just under 4%, but still stay pretty low. So that's it. That's the state of the market for the first half of 2021. If you are a buyer thinking about buying, I know a lot of that can sound really scary, but keep in mind that these are all big picture looks at a whole city, at a whole county, at half of the state. You are an individual, and if you are ready to buy, that's great. That's great. I'm happy to work with buyers. You can find a great home that you love, and it doesn't have to be as scary as it sounds, okay? It's really about education and making sure you're only looking at houses you can afford and finding the right one and being ready to write an offer when you find that right one. For sellers, what does that mean? Well, it's still a great time to sell. It hasn't really slowed. Your house is still likely to sell fast for at or above asking price. So that's the good news. It just keeps going. And that helps. The good news about prices continuing to go up and is because we really do need that enticement for sellers, because we do want more homes to come on the market, because once homes flood the market, that's what helps balance everything, because then buyers have more choices, and so you sort of give a little bit of power to the buyers. So hopefully we continue to see a normalization of everything. Hopefully the rising prices starts to level off a little bit, because I don't see this being sustainable. We can't keep raising our prices 10 to 20% each year. It's not. You end up with a lot of people without a lot of options, and that's really unfortunate. But I am always here to help. If you have any questions, if you want a copy of this, I didn't even cover everything, reach out to me. I'm happy to email you one. And yeah, I hope this was really informative. And if you have any questions about the real estate market, feel free to reach out. Have a great weekend. Bye.